Yes, what thing? Exactly. You hear me? Is it okay? Hmm. Oh, one viewer. Can you please tell me if you hear anything or see anything? Bit choppy. Okay, yeah, my connection is not the best so far. I'm checking things up. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. I see what you mean by a bit choppy. Okay, let me try something for a second. We might be able to start that thing. Hmm. Oh my God. Got some speed problem here. I'm trying to check what could be the main issue here. You would just give me a minute or two. I might just get it done. Still a bit better. Hi, Milo. Okay, so not too bad. I got a better quality. I cut a few apps on the computer. I think that helps. Can you tell me if there's any improvement on the picture before I start off the main topic, which is basically rival? I kind of like those blaster. I was kind of afraid they were going to disappear with the appearance of Hyper, which seems like a plan to replace Rival. But apparently, Rival is back with a new Fate, Vision, and Pathfinder. And by that, it means a new ammo and a new, not style, but a new build quality of blaster, I guess, because we never saw that long of a barrel down the Pathfinder on any other rival blaster. Like they normally shoot the round at pretty much near the tip of the barrel itself. But uh, With the new Pathfinder, it's like they shoot the round from the middle of the blaster and you have to cross this long barrel. For the other part of the new blaster, the Fate is a knockout 2.0 and Vision is basically another finisher with a fixed magazine, which is Meteor, basically. I mean, that's what I feel with this new line of Rival. But at first, honestly, Rival did not start as those intricate gimmicky blaster. Like they start with like this Apollo here, like a big box, a big choppy, squarey blaster. And you really needed to dig those blasters to be into them because at first they were not really appealing. Yeah, the in grip mag fed of the Apollo was pretty nice, but in the end, that weird priming, which reveals itself to be dangerous over time if you fell on it, because believe me, you will hurt yourself. And the previous version didn't have unjamming button, ended up giving us just those blaster, very performant but not very good looking. Same was for the prototype of Zeus. Hmm. Yeah, honestly, Marlo, I'm with you. And looks like we are alone on this stream. That's funny. That's pretty funny. Can you confirm, Milo, that you're still there with me, buddy? Wow. But yeah, we had some quality from the get go. I mean, if you go with the quick evolution, oops, and you go with this Apollo 2.0, that Helios, this is pretty much one of the best quality Nerf rival blaster you're gonna find, and Nerf blaster overall, because those blaster, those intricate ones work smoothly and are well built, very very hard, nice quality. But that kind of changed when everybody got their game into that new style of ammo, that spherical ammo that was born somewhere in 2013 or 2014 and was revealed to us like 2014 and to the market in 2015 with those first blaster. The problem is evolution with a spherical round was a bit finicky. You cannot go very very high power, very high velocity without problem. So by mistake, they released the dual pack of the Chronos in 2017, and that dual pack of Chronos from Deadpool was basically the best blaster they could release. It was 5 round, capacity of 6 with a slight modification, internal magazine, spring powered pistol blaster. It was very, very compact for what it is. Basically, it's a very compact blaster, not very, very big, not very, very wide, but a good sized blaster. And not this one, but the dual pack of the red one. It was basically the first appearance of the Chronos, which was the best rival blaster because of mod potential, half dart conversion, the size of it, and the accessibility. At first, was accessible, a fair price on this Chronos, but it changed quite a bit over time. Even with a newer repaint, they are still expensive. But the problem is, once you top that, how do you like improve on this rival format? I mean, you cannot really improve from there once you top it off. But you need to wait for like competition to bring other models to the market, I guess. So we had Dart Zone quickly bringing some addition to the game. They start with the accelerator, I think, then with the velocity, the Powerball, and titanium. Titanium is, yeah, I think I got one. That was a titanium. like one of the first dart zone rival ball shooter. Yeah, there is a top hopper which you like or you don't, but this thing is a powerhouse, a real powerhouse. I mean, you will have a very big surprise of what this thing can do compared to any modern rival, but it's a little rough on the edges, a little loose there. I mean, you really need to prime it. This is basically a pump action top fed Chronos. Uh, this was a good idea. Pretty much every spring power blaster from Dart Zone follow this principle of Chronos esque internal, and that give us this kind of blaster for pretty much everything they brought to the hobby. Because even the Liberator, which is a pump action with internal magazine, just have the magazine underneath, and it's pretty much the same. The Sentry is pretty much this blaster with an internal hopper that pushes the round in to go chambers. So yeah, they quickly bring that to the market because of the Chronos. It was a simple there. Let me chase everything clear. Really. Am I back? Hmm. Can somebody tell me if I am back, please? Good, thank you, Builder. I like that. Is it back? This is struggling very much. I'm gonna have to find the source of this thing because my connection is showing me full speed. So probably just the weather outside just giving me trouble here. Hmm. Let's hope for this to be better. Okay. I was on this thing, this little powerhouse, which was a Chronos principle inside a pump action blaster. But then we needed another competitor that didn't want to copy the same principle, but it was Ikshot. The problem is with Ikshot, it's how can I say their lack of blaster. I mean, they have two options. Basically, you have an orbit or a meteor. This is a meteor, very nice, very efficient blaster, but like every single chaos blaster were meteor or orbit. The new respawn and rage quit are meteor and orbit. They have only two blaster, and that's really lacking. I really hope for them to have more, at least once. I want them to have one single shot blaster, just one, so they can have a third blaster in their lineup, and it can be pretty fun. Because those blaster I really dig. This is an Apollo principle, where when you prime, the barrel moves back a bit and then chambers around, and then you push it forward and it closes on it exactly like the Apollo. But those are performer. There was problem at first with the orbit with the barrel diameter, But in the end, it was corrected with the Royal and hopefully the Rage Quit with the Phase X-Shot. But I hope this will continue for X-Shot because Rival was a good like medium. It's just that Nerf kind of topped off their quality of blaster very, very fast because we had a few like not poor but more simple blaster before we had like the Saturn, which was pretty much on par with what an Helios could give you on quality or an era. Very, very high, very, very, very hard. We had the whole Chronos principle, but with Slamfire on it. And that Slamfire was something I would want to see in a Chronos if they have to give any improvement. If they want to innovate into rival, they would have to bring us like a Slamfire pistol. Their new round is just the beginning, but I'm kind of, uh, kind of, how can I say? I don't know what to think about those new rounds. They are blue with hexagon on them, and Ikshot had a plan to bring a new color around, which was darker blue with hexagon on them. So this is a way to prevent Ikshot from bringing their new round, probably for the new colored blaster. I don't know. I'm just saying those new round are pretty much inspired by the hexagonal shape from Ikshot. And the Ikshot round, I tend to find that they fly smoother, they fly straighter than the regular rival round when used into any blaster. Plus, in some blaster with very tight barrel, they give a slight FPS increase, just enough to like make you like your blaster. Some of them are lacking, like the Dart Zone Sentry was a 70 FPS at first. Now they changed the spring inside and it's more in the 90 FPS. It's better. It's more on par with the rest of the Rival series. But that was what was so good with the Rival series. I mean, out of the box, you could have a 100 FPS blaster that have relatively easy to reload around that you can carry a lot in your pocket. The round were a bit expensive, but not that much in the end because they are very much reusable and kind of easy to find. Those yellow balls, you can lose them, but normally on the grass you will find them again. Plus, yeah, it was not perfectly straight. It's a sphere. It will not fly perfectly straight, but not flying perfectly straight meaning you can have more fun. Plus, those rounds didn't hurt. Even if they were rated 14 plus because of the velocity, they didn't hurt. That will bring me to Hyper because Hyper was basically what was maybe to switch off our extinct rival from the Nerf lineup because rival was this new, very small spherical ammo. The Hyper, I mean, Hyper was a very small spherical ammo like my Siege you see behind me here. Those very tiny ammo, yeah, there was some kind of a mass into them because they are different material. It's like a rubber ball. Having a gun that shoot rubber ball at 110 FPS, yeah, you rate it 14 plus because believe me, they sting. They really, really sting. They really, really hurt. And they are very hard to find. And they look like gummies. I mean, children, pet will want to hit them more than a rival round, which look like a small golf ball or a small foam ball. You're not tend to eat the foam ball, but the little round gummy, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a small kid anymore, but a small gummy, a yellowish neon gummy somewhere. Yeah, I will try to put it into my mouth. And those round are small, but not small enough to say they are not dangerous. Almost impossible to recover ammo. I don't know what was the idea behind that. I know they wanted more capacity. In my sense, that little new ball should have been the core of a new rival round. Like you coat this ball with rival foam and then you have a solid core rival round that will maybe fly further. That increased mass in the center might help it, assuming it is centered, because if it is installed uncentered in that round, this thing will fly in spiral in the air. It's going to be even worse than too much hop up on those rounds. Instead of just curving, they're just going to swirl, swirl, swirl and go everywhere. That is going to be pretty crazy. But I don't know what was the real idea. My only the only point I could note is look looking at the color of the new rival and looking at the color of the hyper, I found more than one similarities between the two. I mean, they really look like they decided to just release new rival with the hyper color so they could like regain their market. Because I know they have like their new adjustable side gimmick on it. Every good blaster needs a gimmick. I mean, the curve shot was not an efficient one for the gimmick, but it could give some pretty good match. Let's say you forget you prevent players from using the top hop up and you force them to using side hop up or down hop up. Can be a very fun match or for trick shot. But it was just a gimmick. And the new rival, I mean, it's not like it's something spectacular because basically they release two finisher and a knockout with the hyper ish color on them. They release a Knockout 2.0, which is the Fate, and the Vision and Pathfinder are basically just Apollo derivative. More than that, they are finisher derivative, the one that got sealing problem with the O-ring between the feeding lip and the tube. It's always the same problem. This O-ring is not good, and they keep using that system. I understand that in an Apollo, in an X-Shot Meteor, and an Helios, it worked because it's two round parts that fit into each other linearly. It's not just a wiggling part that is moving back and forth to just sit on it. Therefore, it's like you need to change those O-ring at first, but those blaster, at least for the new Vision, doesn't look fun to open. Look like it's clipped all the way. I don't know if it's just the picture that gave me that impression. I'm waiting for my copy, but this this is a little alarming. Like they lack the creativity we are expecting from them. If you want to reskin a good blaster, if you want to reskin something, reskin, I don't know, make a two barrel 80s. Something instead of having three magazine will have only two side by side that will shoot two round every time. That would be awesome. That would be a crazy blaster. A double shotgun with two, I don't know, two, those are 20 rounds, so same length. Two time 20 round, 40 round, give you 20 shot of two ammo, two different tube, two different barrel. Could be a crazy blaster. They need to innovate on that. I mean, just X shot. If they just release us one single shot blaster or do what you do with the Vigilante, released a Vigilante Chaos Blaster. That would be amazing. Only two shot, but you pump and you can switch barrel. That would be crazy. Double double inline clip Saturn. Hmm. What's that, BB? Yeah, it could be. Yeah, okay, I just realized double inline clip. Yeah, double inline clip Saturn. That would be like something like that. Of course. This is pretty awesome. Like, yeah, that could give us a good boomstick, a pump action boomstick, 10, 20 round, whatever you want. You can make two like that, like you said, the Saturn uh, slam fire with the internal magazine two barrel or a two barrel top magazine like the 80s, uh, giving us another blaster with slam fire. This will be some innovation. I think that the flywheeler for rival were really tough with the Percy. So I don't think they could really release something fun as a flywheeler. For Springer, I think they could really think and innovate on it. They could really release more new good blaster. I mean, yeah, they could just go with another gimmick, but something like two round, three rounds a time. A multiple shot blaster could be a good way to go over that. But like I said, they tried to switch to hyper, and it's like they revert their thought and said, we can't revert to hyper. we need to bring back rival because we're gonna have problem. And the new design of new round might be just that they ditch the whole round and old color of foam and went back to it. I don't know. It's a weird move, but what the future shines for us, I don't know. For rival because those rival, like I said, pretty good, pretty cool round that they were, but they changed. Sorry for that, but they changed the color of it. Maybe because they did the yellow foam. I don't know. Again, I'm not at Hasbro, but giving a new round, maybe they build it in a hurry because they needed that new round to release new blaster. Because I suspect them to have took some design from the Hyper and brought it to Rival just for the T-bar priming handle. The first Hyper leak was a pistol with a T priming rod exactly the same at the rear, except there was a top hopper. I'm sorry, but if you take that little fate that you had a hopper on top of that small window, I know this one won't work like that, but if you do the same thing, okay, let's say you take the vision, you just prime it, you have the round falling in. If you put a hopper on top of it, this is basically the same blaster with rival round. It's gonna be a pistol. It's gonna be uh, your hyper pistol. Don't even remember the name. This hyper pistol, you're gonna have the same thing for rival. Even the knockoff, there is some hyper knockoff on Taobao going these days, and those hyper knockoff are basically a takedown with a top hopper with like 40, 50 hyper round into them, and apparently it performed quite well. uh, Even if it's something invented by some Chinese company. They took a rival, they put hyper round into it, knockoff hyper round into it, and they made a new blaster. I think the company is just for fun or something like that, something or other. Those are blue or pink. You got the two color. Might work to check it out because those blasters seem more interesting than the official hyper because no hop up on two of the model were not helping with the spherical round. The siege, this thing, the hyper siege had a little hop up tab on it, which was pretty fun. I was not expecting it to have it, but once you pass a certain amount of FPS, it's not really useful. You see, that thing came back right on to me. This is really something. This thing hurts. I'm telling you, this little blaster here is a bruiser. Yeah, that is fun. A little trick for you. The D prime on the extra orbit or the rage quit for the newer one. The D prime on those blaster is just next to your finger when you use them. You can just click it, prime it again, and let it go to shoot two rounds. That is pretty awesome. I would have hoped to have an easy D prime on this blaster to shoot two, shoot multiple. I would have liked to see it, but no. This thing shoot one, and even the slam fire. If you don't hold it down, it doesn't work. A little like the Nerf rival Helix. That Nerf rival Helix, they did the same kind of system where you had like two tracks with rival round going down. They declared it 20 round. It was a 31 round capacity, was pretty awesome. But if you pump it holding in the air, you will end up with an empty firing chamber and you will not fire one of the round, which was kind of a problem. That's basically the main flaw of those hopper systems, and I think that's half the reason why Hasbro ditched them. The other one would be complaint. I'm sure the Hyperline, not from the community, not from us, just a complaint from parent complaining that it hurts, that it fell hard, that there is every kind of people in this world, and some don't accept that a gun that shoots a rubber ball, which is pretty obvious is gonna hurt, hurts. and I think that's not fair. But at our great pleasure, they brought back Rival. Hopefully, we're gonna have something interesting because they went with the Nerf Limited, and I kind of hope they will make maybe a Rival Blaster in that line. Hopefully, it's gonna work, or they will start to go with a new franchise like they did with the Overwatch, because the Overwatch Blaster, I mean, apart from some of them being unpractical with only 3 rounds, I'm not even speaking about the McCree pistol, which was only a jolt with a bunch of step like a knockout almost to shoot. I'm not speaking about those two. I'm speaking about the rest, like the Reaper, all the good spring powered blaster, the Reaper, the Tracer. Tracer was only 3 round, like the Biva and Diva pistol. But the aesthetic on it and the kind of gimmick of the rotating chamber for time warp, I think in the game, I'm not really much of an Overwatch player, was really great. That Reaper, I think, is basically responsible. Good comment, Milo. That that Reaper, I think, is pretty much responsible for the pump action takedown because it's the exact same form factor, the same shape at the same place, and it's pump action like we would have hoped from this thing. Really, they did a good thing on it, and the takedown was a good blaster. Just that it was inspired by their Overwatch because the creation they made with Overwatch, they had to have a certain level of looking alike the real thing before they could release it. And I think it was a really good thing. They put the effort into it. Even the big Soldier 76 rifle doesn't hold a lot of round. It's not practical, but it's a prop. It's a collector's item. That was pretty neat. So that those little rival, basically, they are responsible for me coming back to the hobby because I was around all the Nerf toy as a teenager, babysitting and going around with other kids, playing with those. And even as I grew up, we went with the what was coming out as before Elite was before the end. Yeah, the just end strike, not the end strike, I think the end strike. When it started with the end strike, was okay with the dart, and it really took time to go almost up to the Elite to start being like really interesting with Retaliator that had a lot of modifications that turned out to be a prophecy over time. But this little round, I really like the way it felt the first time I used those blasters, and I really like the way the blasters were made. Very thick plastic, very chunky, big pump action. That was for the pump action one. Very functional blaster and quite efficient. That brought me back right on to the hobby, and I really hope this line is gonna continue a little more. Maybe with more blaster in their new AQ round series. I don't know. Maybe they will continue it, but they will need to maybe innovate to keep it on because so far, so on, I'm not sure we're gonna be uh, able to continue to see rival if we don't as player, as mother, as consumer buy them. And if we keep asking for the same blaster, I know a lot of people want the Chronos. The main reason I think those special edition Chronos came out is because if we need a Chronos for mod kit and we can't find one anywhere, we are not happy. And if they re-release Chronos, they remake some more money on their best blaster. Blaster made by mistake, I'm pretty sure of it, but they can continue to make money on it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, they continue to cash in on their good product. But what I would not like to see would be like, I don't know, going cheaper hyper, which will maybe leave me a taste of this will stay. Like the Ultra. Looks like it's staying because there is some new Ultra coming, a new one with 2 magazines, one in the stock and one in the blaster. Uh, uh, Not even sure about those art. The Ultra idea I think was good, but I think what they had their glory days with was the rival. I really think they should uh, stay with this ammo and develop it. Go with new idea, bring out new stuff, uh, because those 2.5 blaster for the new one, I might not cut it for the whole series. I really dig the rival blaster. I have them pretty much all for what is Springer. I have a lot of those flywheeler, but I don't see I don't see from here where we're going unless it's just a blaster for look with a certain prop or something. I don't see where we're going because we try to improve it. We know past 130-ish FPS, it's unpredictable, and it's true. I mean, I got my 22 kilogram orbit. It's shooting 165, 180 FPS, and the round just almost spiral before they fall down. So that's not a good thing, but we should improve on the ammo itself instead of going for the whole blaster. That's what they tried to do with this thing. So they understood the importance of this, but we need to maybe have more mass or more control, or maybe just Nerf should have reversed their plan, go back to follow the community, and maybe produce some half dart. Yeah, use your ultra idea and make ultra half dart. I'm sure they'll be good. Not like we didn't see them already. But yeah, as for rival, yeah, they start like a newcomer line, prototype look. They evolve quite quickly, topped off very 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 fast, and now we are into reskin world, and it's not even a reskin, it's reskinning one of our own blaster to look like the competitor's blaster. Because if you go with a new vision, I think it's a straight off finisher reskin that is made to look exactly like the meteor, because to my sense the finisher was also made to be exactly like the meteor, except with a removable magazine, which was not that good after all, because there was a gimmicky door that didn't work on the side. That was not the best. So now we are five. Wow, all five of you. How are you all going? Hi, Pej. But yeah, no, I understand that a lot of field and a lot of club will and are banning the hyper. You don't want to have them anywhere in your woods, in your yard. A lot of field, and that I don't understand. A lot of field I went, they accept half door, but they don't accept rival. I think that's a problem because half dart, if you go with an adventure force, can be easier to lose than rival round, a pretty yellow or pretty orange or red rival round. So I don't see the point to that. But yeah, a lot of field start to forbid the spherical round. This way, it removes the hyper and it removes the rival at the same time, but it prevents people from using the 50 cal round, yeah, baby. The phenomenon with this. Hopefully, we're back. Sorry for that. I'm gonna solve that connection problem before next time. Promise. Uh, Yeah, those mag in the Hypnos. I had the same problem with the original Hypnos mag using them into my Helios and Apollo. They jam in the handle. There is something, a lip somewhere, a little corner that is not the same, and it just jamming them. Maybe putting them in a Pathfinder should work because the mag doesn't work anywhere. But I don't know. Uh, oh, Milo, finisher mag. Oh yeah, funny because any pretty much any rival magazine fit the finisher. At least the one I tried. They all fit the finisher really. Uh, but those, is it a real? Is it an Hypnos one? This one, or is it one of my regular? I think this is an Hypnos one. Yeah, you see, that's the Hypnos magazine. The Hypnos magazine into Helios, and it's not because it's a red Helios. I can take my white Helios; it will be exactly the same. You really need to shove it in if you want it to go all the way in, and if you remove it, same. It stays stuck in. I don't know what's the difference. There is a slight lip somewhere on it that changes the whole insertion, but they might just fit. I don't know. They might fit in the Pathfinder. When I'm gonna get one, I'm gonna try it for sure. I'm leaving it on the side so it doesn't go back into the pile. Only man that perfectly finisher. Yeah. It don't fit the Pathfinder. Good to know. So it don't fit. I really want to have one of those Pathfinder in my hand. Crazy. Canadian delivery are amazingly long for that thing. I tried to order from Amazon.com. Nothing will come here before March 12, like past my birthday. This is gonna be crazy. Same for the Vision. Can't find the Fate anywhere. Uh, I mean, apart from some Walmart listing, which I can't order in Canada from Walmart.com, Walmart.ca doesn't offer them. Toys R Us apparently hasn't received them, but they have a listing for that new Eagle Point RD8, so I'm hopeful that they are gonna have the arrival pretty soon. They are waiting a new arrival at my new arrival of Blaster at my Toys R Us, so I'm really eager to go and see them. Oh my god, Nerf Ultra for life. Yeah, it's your choice. Nerf Ultra for life. Yeah, mm, it's your choice, but no, not for me. I rather have the only reason I would buy another Ultra Blaster would be to make another half dart conversion with an Ultra 5, which is an amazing blaster once converted to half dart. Uh, the shell is almost made inside to have a slot to insert the Talon mag at the exact same place. For the pusher for the dart inside the internal magazine make the perfect spacer if you turn it 90 degrees for that straight Talon mag inside the yellow tree that is inside the blaster. That's an interesting one. For a mod like that, yeah, I would buy another of those Ultra 5 or an Ultra Pharaoh to put a half dart kit in it. Or just take an Ultra 5 and slam an Ultra Pharaoh kit in it. I'm 80% sure it's gonna work. But yeah, haven't tested it. I don't have the kit at hand, so I will need to find myself a kit, try to shove it in my Ultra 5 and see if it works. But Ultra for life, no, not for me, sorry. Oh, so Milo is gonna have a fate to give away during his stream during the weekend. That's gonna be pretty nice. That is to be reminded. Okay, now I had a few blasts. Oh yeah, Just a little thing. I need to speak about this blaster. Uh, it's gonna spoil my video a little, but here it is. I'm too much, not hangry. I'm pissed off about this blaster. This, oh, this is something really, really awful. I got my hand on the Adventure Force Tetra Shot. Yeah, I know it was not a shotgun. I know it was a single shot blaster, but on paper, 48 dart belt, pump action sounded great. It was on sale. I had it at $14 Canadian, so I was tempted by it. And I feel like I burned some money. Like this thing. This sad, sad little thing. For once, I had good hope on this thing because Busby, which is known for non-human grip, had a good size grip, which is known for with priming, had a good size priming. But that belt system that indexes the round once every 4 shots, that doesn't even, like the dart doesn't even come out the barrel every time. That is pretty appalling. And the quality of plastic, this is like cheap dollar store, man. Look at this. This thing is getting flat. This thing is getting deformed easily. I could basically rip off this blaster by twisting it. This is how soft that blaster is. I don't know why they sell it at Walmart. I don't even know why Adventure Force put their name on that thing because honestly, ah, Busby, you had the right shape, but everything else was wrong with that thing. Uh, really a bad blaster. I still got shivers thinking about it. You touch this plastic. Listen to this. This is not good. This is not good. Like honestly, if I want to compare it with any eggshell blaster, they feel 10 times better. This is like the worst Busby plastic with their best looking blaster almost out of the box. If it had different color, it might have been more beautiful, but they had some okay plastic at some point in their history, and now it's like they're going down. This feels like I grabbed that thing at dollar store for $5, and I know it's worth more than that. I know it cost me more than that, but it's like really, really, this is nah. This is bad. Uh, Avoid it. Really, I'm gonna post a review later on this weekend, but like I didn't even know why I picked it. To compare it, I did another review today, which was the Roblox, what's it called, the Jailbreak Armory set. Is it somewhere? No, it's not there. It's in its box. The Jailbreak Armory set, those two little pistols, the bamboo and the like wooden one. I was expecting to be really disappointed with those blasters, and they performed well. Like honestly, good quality of construction, basically very high for Nerf. They had high quality. They were performing on par or better than Jolt, and they were Hammer Prime. So it's a win-win. It was really, really something I was not expecting. I'm not into Roblox. I'm not into anything that looks like that. But those were okay. I need to test one blaster in the series. I'm into pistol. I'm into single shot blaster. So I tried those. Not disappointed. Am I gonna keep it? No. I might give it at some point. During a stream, I'm gonna give that review copy of the Roblox uh, jailbreak armory set. I hadn't used or showed the code on video. There is a code to have Bow Blaster into Jailbreak Armory in Roblox. Like I said, I have no clue of what it means into Roblox. I don't play. My kids play. Maybe my son could let me or my daughter, but nope, I don't know what it is. But the blaster were not bad. I'm not into that shark thing, but this one was not so bad. This little pistol. Don't really don't. I would gladly send it free to you to your side, but it will be a waste of your money shipping that thing over to you. Believe me, uh, unless you see it in clearance, I would say under $10. Try to avoid. It's not worth it. It's gonna be a huge waste of money. Honestly, uh, try not to go with this thing. Yeah, you are welcome. I really took a hit. It was a really harder hit than I thought. I didn't know it was that bad. I heard something. I tend to stay away from review of Blaster. I haven't review or bought or tested. So no, this one was a disappointment. A clear disappointment. Uh, can't even begin with that. The Honestly, I spend on camera while trying to film a 10-minute trying to have a good chronograph test on this thing. This is impossible to chronograph with my chrono. And then off camera, I spend another 15 minutes trying to get a few decent shots just so I could have a measurement to give to you. And the best shot I had was a 62, so I hope it didn't hit anywhere. But that Tetra shot looked like all it can give me is a 62. I had like three or four successful shots uh, during my off-screen chronograph test, but this is appalling. It's not even touching the target when you shoot it. This is really a bad blaster. I can't even begin to tell about that. That trigger. Yeah, no, let's not continue on that. No modding potential at all. I guess you are speaking about this Tetra shot, which I divert from discussion a little bit. Uh, yeah, that thing. Uh, no, I don't think there is any mod potential. I know some people that are tempting the impossible, but I'm telling you, the quality is so bad. You would have so much work to do to get this thing to a level where it's somewhat reliable. This is not worth the effort. Honestly, for the money. Okay, I'm gonna tell you here. I bought three blaster on sale from Walmart. Basically, I spent $14 on Nerf, $14 on Adventure Force, and $14 on Eggshot Blaster. There was a sale, so I grabbed one of each. And what you see for those for $14, I had this one, which I'm disappointed at. I had the Jailbreak Armory, which was a neat surprise. And I had, really, and I had this original Ixshot XL Omega, all for the same price. If you're gonna ask me where to put your money on a chain fed blaster between that Tetra shot and something like the Omega or the Crusher, I will go grab a Crusher or an Omega right on. Then you're gonna like it. This is not the same kind of game, but that Busby is beyond low quality, and it's almost an insult to consumer buying it. I don't even know how they went around some quality control for Adventure Force with that thing because I'm not even sure it's safe with that soft of a shell or that cracky of a shell. Yeah, Uh, mm, Maybe not sure I agree, but you're not wrong. Honestly, you're not wrong. Busby needs to bring back the Sentinel and the Brute. I agree on that, but they need to do it with a good quality. Uh, they I know they reshell a lot of the wrong thing, but that mech something that Busby flywheeler with a switch like the Brute was not that bad, and would have to give it uh, a little thumbs up for this blaster. On that Busby, they had the good thing, but for now, it's really really bad. They are reskinning a lot of their single or a lot of their old, not so good stuff. I don't know where they are. At least if Zuru don't come out with something at some point, they will bring us something. Maybe they will bring less, but they put a little more effort, maybe in design, maybe a little more effort in marketing, obviously, because they sent a lot of kit to a lot of people. But Busby need to pick up their game, honestly. This blaster and the whole new Adventure Force lineup from Busby, I don't see the potential. Even the reskin of that mod, I think it's the 1902, which is in the arsenal now, it's not good. It's not as solid as the previous version and the other one before that. And those were a bit fragile. So what happened? But yeah, a new, good, solid, sturdy Sentinel, that would be amazing. I know a lot of people would be really, really go into that. Yeah, yeah, I guess. Yeah, going old school is always a good thing. That is a question I can't answer because I don't have the other chain to test it out. Hmm. But that chain system is pretty simple and pretty sturdy. With there's a lock anyway. You got the Royal Edition Omega. There is the little lock at the front that locks the chain in. That blaster is pretty cool. It would be nice to try another one on it. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, the Rebel mech earlier. Yeah, I agree. This is like the closer thing to a brute you can have lately in the last 2 3 years from Busby, because now it's really hard. It's honestly those blasters are hard to like. You go with those, and they are far from going pro. I mean, if I say pro, okay, you have to hear 130 plus FPS with half dart. I'm not asking super performance. I'm asking decent, fast flying half dart. I think that would be pretty cool out there to have this. Ikshot was supposed to work on those and bring those back. Like they announced, they revealed it a few times ago. We spoke about it last stream, but they were supposed to bring a line, but they are far from bringing it since they have no blaster except the Fortress that is coming soon, and the new Extinct, which is basically a kickback. I can't believe in 2 years they could only do reshell in different color and two very very small blasters that are not really new. A kickback reshell into the Dino form, and a Turbo Advance reshell to look maybe more like a Conquest. I I don't know. I'm perplexed about that. I don't see Busby making the move of going off. I don't see Busby or Zuru, and that scares me off because I really really love Zuru. I don't see Zuru surviving the pro trend of Blaster if they don't come out with something really 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 soon, because Dark Zone is pretty much dominating, and other small company are taking a little part of it, and some smaller company are taking bigger part of it because Worker got a big part of the hobby. The newer ZWQ coming, they got very nice offering, even Chinese. We have to see. We have to say when the blaster is good, and their blaster are good so far. Not perfect, but good. Yeah, the Spectrum is better than the Rebel Mech, but the Spectrum is made by Dark Zone and the Rebel Mech by Busby. And we were just speaking a little about the Busby Brute, which was most resembling the Rebel Mech from them, but sold under the same Adventure Force brand at Walmart. On that, you are right. And yes, the Spectrum would be a way better offering. Yeah, I know a few wizard around here plays with the Sentinel, and they have pretty much fun with it. This is their best blaster overall, normally with the aluminum breech. Uh, so far, we were supposed to have some kind of new at first leak. Then they change idea. So I know personally, I don't think we're gonna have that Adventure Force DZP MK2 anytime soon. I will be less surprised to see brand new clear Dark Zone Pro blaster like I spoke last stream instead of that cheaper version of MK2 and Adventure Force blaster into the Walmart aisle. I think that because there is the new Dark Zone Pro tournament announced everywhere, and they normally use that occasion to release a new blaster or reveal a new blaster, and I will expect them to reveal a clear set of Dark Zone Pro blaster during that event, and that might be what to expect from Dark Zone and Adventure Force. The next Adventure Force, my best guess is it's gonna be economical version of the an economical version of the MK3, which should shoot only semi-automatic. That would be pretty crazy. An affordable MK3, but simpler. That would be a great addition, even if I don't like Flywheeler. You want a clear 1.1? Yeah, I would have called it the 1.3 since we had the 1.1. Did we have 1.2? No, so why 1.2? Yeah, it would be a Dart Zone Pro. Yeah, Mark 1.2. Hopefully, that would be very, very nice. I want that. That I jump on it and I will buy it. Yeah, I know. And they relaunched us like last week with a trailer showing two Dart Zone Max Striker getting the same kind of clear fade, but this time instead of making the whole blaster clear, they only put half. Maybe so we don't hope for a clear striker anytime soon. But yeah, I will really, really, really love to see that. Oh, we need more rival Slamfire. Yeah, we don't have a lot of rival Slamfire, to be honest. Except the 80s, the Artemis, the Saturn. Is there any other Slamfire rival? I don't think so. Is the new sorry, is the new Pathfinder Slamfire? I don't think. But yeah, I think we do. That was what I was speaking earlier. A two tube feeding, two tube feeding with a twin barrel shotgun that would be Slamfire would be a pretty crazy blaster. I would really, really like that. Yeah, this year Dark Zone is good, but the year is pretty quiet. Last year they went under Dark Zone Pro, and I'm pretty sure they will bring us something new eventually. I mean, they always work with the community, they always try to listen to what we want. My only concern is the sudden migration from the classical Dart Zone Pro bamboo dart to their new yellow and purple tip Dart Zone Pro 2.0 dart. That I'm not perfectly sure. I kind of like those neon green with orange at dart, and now that they changed it, I don't know. I'm not sure. Though the other kind is not available anymore because they changed the design. And I'm kind of afraid that's what we're going to see with Adventure Force Pro Dart because they are available, but I'm afraid since the new Dart Zone Pro have a more max head on them, that every half dart will end up with the max head. I'm not saying the max head is bad. Dart Zone, Max Dart are my darts of choice when I go to dart. But nah, not sure I like those. Hmm. Always, always my Nexus Pro, the one with the worker kit on it. I only have the barrel kit with the breech on it and the top rail riser in aluminum. This blaster is a consistent 170, 180 FPS, shoots straight as an arrow. And if I put the scar on it, I go down to 165, 170 ish average, but pretty consistent. Uh, Honestly, it never failed. I had it failed one time, and I think it was my daughter using it. She was not priming it the whole way, so she filled the barrel with dart. Other than that, never had a problem with this blaster. More than the Dart Zone Max Striker because the Striker doesn't have the internal modification for it. If Worker would have go for making a kit for the Dart Zone Max Striker, I will tell you right away. It's your choice. Go for the your preferred blaster between the two. But now I will tell you, go for a Nexus. Conquest is fun. Conquest is a fun dart spewing machine. I mean, you have slam fire, but the problem is if you use talent mag and you slam fire too hard, sometimes the mag just go off. But you can correct it with a better spring for the mag latch. But this conquest is fun, but never like a Nexus, my modern Nexus. This is one. This is the primary I always carry with me. So if I ever bring my Swift or my Prophecy, or I get a problem and one of them fails, I know I have my Nexus to cover me the rest of the day. This will do the rest of the event and pretty much serve me and be my blaster, my go-to blaster. Oh, thanks. So looks like the Pathfinder have no slam fire. You see, with that long of a barrel, I would have expected them to at least fit something with the mechanical properties for a good slam fire. That would have been the right thing that put this blaster on a different level. Because if you look at them, the Vision and Pathfinder are the same blaster, one with removable magazine and one with internal magazine. That's it, that's all. There is no difference whatsoever. Okay, that is kind of alarming with the price of that Pathfinder. 33 US dollar. That is oof something. So now I let lead that I would give away my bruiser. This is my bruiser. This is my modded Hyper Siege. It got an 18 kilogram Chronos spring inside that powers it. This thing, this thing really, really hurts. Uh, if that blaster interests you, I might ask you to guess. I'm gonna ask you to guess what is the power of that blaster. If that thing interests you, let's say if I look at the time now, let's say at 20:45, I will give it away to the person who was the closest in FPS of this blaster. That's it. Please, If you want it, I just want a number of FPS, and I'm telling you it's above 100. Okay, this is modified to hurt. But if you want it up to 845, give me your your thought on it, and I will test fire one round in the chronograph to show you, to prove it to you how hard this thing hit. But this Nerf Hyper Siege, okay, it's not stuck. I said it earlier. It's a modded Nerf Hyper Siege with an 18 kilogram Chronos spring inside. So if you can guess the the closest, if you can go down on it, would be something. Because this thing sounds hard, okay? You see? Dry fire. This thing kicks. I don't want to get hit by this thing, honestly, but this thing kicks. 176. That's a guess. I don't want it, but I would say 150. Yeah, that's another guess. What would you prefer? Me to shoot only one round, to have a number, to have one firm number, or let's say 3 rounds to have a small average? Yeah, it sounds like it hit hard. It does. It really does. If I ever shoot a wall, it will leave a mark. Believe me. And if I ever shoot you medium to close range, it will bruise. Guaranteed. To be honest, I can't even give you clue on this thing because I would need to retest it. I don't even remember what it was giving me back then, and since then I worked the seal on it, so I don't know. I really don't know what it's gonna give me. But yeah, if you want to go the closest one, yeah, we'll take this one. I'm telling you, I'm about to finish in about 5 minutes when I'm gonna reveal whoever might take this hyper siege. I'm gonna go off like 5 minutes later or something like that. For me, it's starting to get late, and yes, we had our little chat about rival, but get feel free to ask any other question before I log off. It will be my pleasure. I swift black bruise with black bees. Oh yeah, yeah, no shit. Really? This thing bruise? Yeah, I believe you. I tried it. Uh, this thing hurts. Black bees sting without the pun. Really, they do sting. Plain and simple. Keyword is eventually. Yeah, that monolith blaster. It's another of the rival flywheeler, one of the later addition from Adventure Force Dart Zone in the rival one. But that thing is beautiful. Got a nice silhouette. On paper, this is a small pocket nemesis. And no, when you get it, the ball slip inside. It's not shooting very good. Not consistent. It doesn't fly straight. This thing needs a power up, and I think it will need a new belt for carrying the ball inside, or something of a new cage with maybe less crush. I don't know. But this, no, this is something eventually. You plan on doing that eventually. Yeah, but uh, going like that in early, going on stuff like that in earlier stream, yeah, it's my second stream, so no, I don't think we went around the subject too much, but yeah, I think the rival was one of the best ammo that Nerf brought us on the market. Really, uh, Half Dart is good for performance, for competition, but Rival is just fun. I mean, any kid wants to play with Rival. They don't hurt, they fly, going around sometime. You don't hit every target with it, but that's what makes the fun. The really, really good pro guy could not sometimes hit the little kid that will hit it back. And that's what was fun with those little foam ball that were Rival. And that's what got me excited. So, like I see, not much people wanting this Nerf Hyper. Looks like you got like me. You don't like the Nerf Hyper that much. Honestly, if you think it's a bruiser too much to the FPS, it is there. I can still tune it down before I send it. This is something really, really easy. I could just tune it down, put back the original spring in. Yeah, to mention that little brand new canister unopened is coming with the blaster when I will ship it. No problem. So for now, since it is almost 8:45, let me shoot a couple of rounds in that chronograph. Yeah, chronograph test. Gonna go for a little song that you heard first, maybe. So I'm gonna shoot maybe 2-3 rounds into it. Oh no, just one is gonna be good. Okay, so your best guess. Oh my god. Let me just scroll down the comment on it because this FPS is something. I had only one round shot through it. I shot a couple before out of the air just to have it the loop going inside. And yeah, we're getting to 45. And man, uh, do you have a camera spying on me? I mean, Guillaume, really, Guillaume Barnabé, do you have a camera spying on me? Because this is 156.7, and you just answered me 157. I mean, really, this is more than close. Point 0.3 FPS. I think we can all agree he deserves this blaster. Man, send me a message, Instagram, Facebook, try both if you don't have both, one of the two. Uh, really, man, send me a message. I'm gonna find a way to send this blaster to you. And if you ever happen to live near me because of your name, I will try to make my way to bring it. Maybe not tomorrow because there's a freaking storm coming, uh, an inch an hour or something like that. But yeah, so Guillaume, officially, I am gonna mark you in the post for the channel. You are my official winner for the stream number 2 for the Nerf, for the modded Nerf Hyper Siege. That's it, man. And you're in my head. Yeah, I'll start to believe you, man, because your answer appeared while I was reading the number on the chronograph, and that kind of freaked me out, honestly. Yeah, good idea. Reach me there, Guillaume. I'm gonna I'm gonna talk to you a little later when I'm done with this. So we had our little discussion. Next time we're gonna join. Like I said earlier, that little Roblox jailbreak armory. If that thing interests you, it only went into my hand to shoot like 15 darts total on a target, and another maybe 15 total on a chronograph. So if that thing interests you, if you have kid into Roblox, next stream that thing is going to be up for grab, maybe with something else. I don't know. So for now, that's it for the stream. You can always follow me on Facebook, Instagram at that little nerd guy. Please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more content. Don't forget to hit that bell That was Dave for Tag. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.